This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country. Come and join me on this Jailbreak road trip. I'm in the brand new 2026 Dodge Durango Hellcat Jailbreak edition, and I'm driving from Las Vegas to Denver. How far can I get on a single tank of fuel in this 710 horsepower supercharged V8 Hellcat? Let's find out. I'm worried that this Durango is going to be thirsty, and it requires premium octane because it's a premium engine that has a lot of horsepower. So I'm going to use 91 octane. That's the best I can get here just north of Las Vegas. And I could just top off and get on the road. Check out this bad boy. The new Jailbreak edition, of course, allows you to customize your Durango Hellcat in 7 million different ways, with colors on the outside, on the inside, different options, different features. This one is in this octane red with nice silver stripes, and otherwise a little bit understated. I would make mine, if I was buying one, a little bit more flashy. All right, I'm all topped off. I'm gonna bring this engine to life. Yes, the sound that this engine makes never ever gets old. And of course, I am thankful that it's still here. The 6.2 liter Hemi V8 with a supercharger sitting on top of it. I just topped off. I'm gonna reset my average fuel economy and my trip. And by the way, it's so simple. I have control of my steering wheel, but it's just physical buttons, very large buttons. I could clearly see them and actually use it properly. So no funky little haptic buttons or anything like that. No digital displays to confuse me. Hold OK, reset my MPG, and it also tells me that I can go about 350 miles on a tank, but my trip is about 700 miles. So if I can make it on 2 tanks, I'll be very, very happy. Also, I'm gonna put it into snow mode. It is not snowing and it's not cold, but you guys always used to tell us when we had the TRX that we should have used snow mode for road trips for best efficiency. So as such, I'm gonna hit my SRT button. I'm gonna go to snow mode, and there's also a little eco, but I think snow mode might be a little bit better for me for a long road trip, just so it's a little bit more subdued and not using a ton of fuel. All right, I got a lot of miles to go and semi-trucks on both sides of me. Woo-ha! Alright, I have an update for you from the road. So I've been on the highway for approximately almost 4 hours, and I haven't stopped yet. This has been an exercise in, I guess, my bladder control, because I have been drinking water, but it's been a pleasant drive. Why? Because these seats are really comfortable for me. The bolsters are hugging me. I'm having quite a lot of fun. I've done the I-15 north, and then I've turned east on I-70, and I'm in Utah, of course, and the road here in the mountains is nice and curvy, and I have so much control in this fairly large and heavy SUV. So the Durango Hellcat, this particular one, weighs 5,950 pounds. So it's almost 6,000 pounds, which is quite heavy, but nonetheless, it does not feel like a big three-row SUV. Yes, it is a bit smaller than like a Tahoe would be, or even a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, or a Ford Expedition. It's a little bit shorter, it's a little bit narrower, so it's a little bit more mid-size than full-size. But it is heavy, partially because of that engine, the giant V8, partially because of the all-wheel drive system, and it's also a 15-year-old chassis. This generation Durango came out in 2011, and this is the 2026 model. And in 2011, at the end of that year, it was the first time I met Roman. So this Durango is almost as old as I have been in this industry. So this is the only Durango I've known. No, I'm just kidding, because my friends used to own first generation and second generation Durango, so I've experienced pretty much every generation of Durango. But it's been a pleasure. I've been cruising mostly at speed limit, maybe 1 mile per hour over in some areas. I'm trying to really obey every law because I don't want to be stopped and lose time. I want to get home tonight and be safe. I have Apple CarPlay on. It's been working quite well, except a couple of maybe dropouts where the wireless CarPlay went in and out on I-15. I'm not sure why. But for the most part, I've been listening to the podcasts. Carish is an amazing podcast. Also, of course, TFL Truck and TFL Car Chat. I listen to other podcasts. I really love Wheel Bearings podcast with Sam, Nicole, and Robbie. Overland Journal podcast. Bloomberg Hot Pursuit. So I've been listening to a lot of my favorite automotive journalists. And I'm averaging 16.5 mpg according to the computer, and also averaging around 77 miles an hour because the speed limit is about 80 in most of these places. So making really good progress. So I need to stop at Green River because I need fuel, and I am surprised. I'll show you what happened when I pull up there. I'm doing better than I expected. I expected something like 15 mpg, and I was thinking I would struggle to break 350 miles on a tank, but it's going to be almost 400 miles before I need to stop for fuel. So I'm pleasantly surprised in this hellish Durango because of the engine. So also I have switched from driving in snow mode, which I did for about 250 miles, which didn't seem to do much for me, and I was actually at 16 mpg, and then I went to auto with eco, which now is resulting in 16.5. So I would wager that I should not use snow mode if it's not snowing. I mean, that's the real intention of the manufacturer, to actually use the mode as it was intended. And because the weather is really, really nice, I think the eco mode is the best mode for road tripping in normal conditions. So I'm gonna continue the rest of my trip. Even after I fill up, I'm gonna continue it in eco, automatic mode. Still all-wheel drive is doing its thing, and that's what it's gonna be. And no matter which car or truck you have, if you plan on keeping it for a longer period of time, you should check out GrangerWarranty.com. use the link in the description below. Granger Warranty is one of the best sellers of factory-backed extended warranties across the country, and you could save some money while doing it, about $1,000 on average. And you don't have to buy it immediately when you buy a brand new vehicle. You could wait a little bit and then get that warranty. And when your truck needs service, you can be sure that they're using certified components, OEM quality stuff, and the work is done at a certified facility or a dealership anywhere across the country. I guess we need to talk about pricing a little bit. So for 2026, the Durango Hellcat starts at $79,995, basically 80 grand before destination. Destination is $1995, so now we're at about 82 grand for a base Hellcat Durango, which is actually not that base because I have heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats. This is a fairly nice, in this one I don't have a sunroof, but that's available. And because it's a jailbreak, you can configure this, like I said, in 7 million different ways. Because you have 7 colors for exterior, not including stripes, and also some pinstriping that you could put on the outside. Then at least 4 or 5 different seatbelt colors, seat materials and colors, also badging colors, brake caliper colors, wheel combinations. You can actually have yellow badging on the outside to show off that Hellcat face and show off your vehicle. So lots of different ways to configure it. You could have it as a 2-row, as a 3-row. You could add a towing package. You could subtract the towing package from it. So there's many different options you could have. I actually kind of like this config because it's a little bit more lightweight, because this doesn't have a 3rd-row seat, and also unfortunately it does not have a hitch. It does not have a towing package on this one. So that makes it a little bit more lightweight, but also a little bit more fun to drive. Acceleration is effortless. Twisty mountain roads are effortless. And the speed this trip has been effortless, and I haven't stopped in 4 hours. I don't know, well, I have another almost an hour. I really hope my bladder holds out. Oh jeez. All right, let's get to the pump and see exactly what efficiency I got and how far I can go on one tank. Because when you're spending 82 grand on an SUV, fuel cost is probably not your main concern, because you are pretty well off. But what is your concern is how far can I go on a single tank? Can I cross Utah? Can I cross Colorado? Can I cross half of Texas? We'll find out. I've made it to Green River, Utah in one shot from just outside Vegas. I'll show you my trip meter in just a second. It's almost 5 hours of travel, 4 hours and 50 minutes, and about 378 miles. Wow, and I still have no low fuel warning. I am surprised. I was betting in Vegas, not at the casino. I was talking to another journalist, Zach, and I told him that I'll probably average 15 mpg, and he said, you're gonna average 17. And I was like, I'm not sure, I'm going over mountains. And it looks like he won the bet, because I might be averaging 17. Let me get to the pump and see exactly what it is. Right there. 378.3, 17 mpg is my trip meter. Let's check the pump. Okay, I'm gonna wait 30 seconds and top off. Alright, so the final number is 22.02 7 gallons. Okay, let's calculate. So 378.3 miles divided by 22.027 gallons, 17.2. Wow, really, I'm surprised. I was expecting something worse. And this is averaging about 77 to 78 miles per hour. So this is not like just going at 60 or 65. This is moving pretty quickly on the highway. So I am impressed. Wow, take a look at this sunset. Wow, this Hellcat trip has been just a pleasure. And I'm gonna keep on driving. There's the Durango right there. Thanks for joining me. Check out oldtfl.com for everything automotive, including Hellcat road trips, which actually have a good ending. Why can't we all have a Hellcat engine? Maybe because it eats a lot of fuel, maybe because it's expensive. I wish we could all have a Hellcat. I made it to Colorado. I'm inside the tunnel, Eisenhower Johnson, the Ike tunnel, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Hemi engine. And specifically, I went to the NHRA Nationals in Las Vegas, which Dodge was a part of, and Direct Connection and Dodge were sponsoring. And I was kind of embedded with the team, and I saw them rebuild an actual Hemi engine in a funny car that's producing 12,000 horsepower. This is estimated, calculated based on performance, because there's no dyno in the world that I'm aware of that will dyno a 12,000 horsepower engine. By the way, this engine drinks about 12 gallons of fuel in about 12 to 15 seconds of a single race. And that's doing a burnout, that's kind of backing up, that's doing a 3.8 second 1,000 foot, no longer a quarter mile, 1,000 foot run. It drains 12 gallons to make 12,000 horsepower and go upwards of 330 miles per hour in 1,000 feet. And it only lasts for one of those races. They have to rebuild that engine. But it's an actual Hemi. I looked inside of the heads that they used. They're hemispherical, super cool. I saw the Matt Hagen's team, which is super professional, and then he won. He won the meet, and he is now really in a great position to win the championship. That was really cool to see, and that also kind of brings a little bit of a correlation to the Hellcat engine, because they drag race supercharged engines. They know how to make big horsepower, and I would like to think that at least somehow translates into a production vehicle and the wonderful engine that I think this Hellcat is. So I have some footage, you're watching it already, of me at the race, and also the sound that those dragsters make is unexplainable. You have to experience it for yourself. You could listen to it in the video, but you don't get the raw, just destroying sound when you're next to one of those 12,000 horsepower race cars. So if you can, try to make it to an NHRA sanctioned nationals event and see the Top Fuel and the funny car race cars and all the other classes too. Oh God, that's a good way to clear your sinuses with alcohol-based fuel. Oh God, I'm crying. That's all right.